Good day kwese kwamuri. In today's lesson toda kuita implicit differentiation, a tutorial using those two questions, example 1 and example 2. Let us begin. So of course we start from example 1. Example 1 iri kuti kudini? A curve is defined by the equation x cubed plus y cubed plus 3xy minus 1 is equals to 0. Find the gradient of the curve at the point 2 minus 1. How do we go about this question? Sachekutanga ndoda kutanga ne a disclaimer. Disclaimer yangu ndeye kuti of course we know kuti tiri kuita implicit differentiation. Kureva kuti we are going to apply implicit differentiation to this question. But kana muchinyora yo ZIMSEC yo Cambridge pure mathematics paper, hamuudzwi explicitly kuti you have to apply implicit differentiation. The same way hamusingaudzwe kuti you apply parametric differentiation or the differentiation of be it exponential functions, logarithmic functions, trig functions, and the like. Hamuudzwi that information. So how do you discover, how do you notice kuti chiri kuda kushandiswa panapa? It's implicit differentiation. So we have to discuss the markers which you use to take note what you are dealing with implicit differentiation. What are these markers? Tikanyora pasi function ya Tapiwa. Kwanzi x cubed plus y cubed plus 3xy minus 1 is equal to 0. Saka indicator yekutanga kuti apa panoshanda implicit differentiation. It's basically because we are given an equation. Because implicit differentiation inoshanda kana tapiwa an equation. But the primary marker chamunofanga kunyanyo kutarisisa kuti muzive kuti mufanga kuapply implicit differentiation is this case. This case 3xy ndiyo indicator inofanga kukudzai kuti apa panoshanda implicit differentiation. The reason being we cannot separate x na y easily. So when we did this lesson officially, takati we use implicit differentiation when we cannot separate x and y easily, like that. Saka kuti tuwane derivative ya 3xy, it's not easy to separate x na y. That is an indicator we have to use implicit differentiation. The other indicator of course is going to be this. Kuti we are given x cubed then also y cubed, and pana y cubed panapa we are going to be differentiating with respect to y. Saka a main policy pano the e, when we differentiate with respect to y, we multiply by the differential coefficient ndiani dy dx. Saka pese paticha differentiator with respect to y, or to put it simply, pese paticha differentiator anything china y mkati, we are going to then multiply the derivative yatawana by dy dx, which is the differential coefficient. So this is now the pinnacle of implicit differentiation. Those are no reva kana tichiti implicit differentiation. So let us now do the working. So I'm going to remove what we wrote here. They were just side notes. If you wanted a record of it, you can just rewind and put it down in your notes kana kuti in your practice books. Saka pano our function x cubed plus y cubed plus 3xy minus 1 is equal to 0. Chatinotanga kuita tinotsvaga mufunction yedu. Alright, chekutangisisa kuona kuti function yedu iri equal to 0. Kureva kuti zvinhu zvese zvofanirwa kuva arranged on either the left or right hand side kuitira kuti our function ive equal to 0. That's the basic condition for implicit differentiation. But having met that basic condition, the second thing is tofanirwa kutsvaga ma-products, and we are always going to find them inside our function. So product yatawana panapa ndiani the 3xy ndo pane product. We want to separate this. How do we do that? Tikati consider 3xy. Saka consider ndinoishandisa as a separator. Ndiri kutaurira examiner kana kuti marker ndikuda kubuditsa 3xy mufunction ndodhila nayo separately ndozoidzosera. Ndozvanenge ndichingotaura. Saka kudhila nayo apo ndiri kurevei. Ultimately tiri kuda the derivative of that function. Tikuda kudifferentiate that function. So in differentiating this function, panapa, because this is a product, we are going to use what? The product rule. Saka product rule inotaura iyo, maybe let us write it down. Atozoinyora kumberi. We already know that we have to assign. Saka tichati let u be equal to 3x. And that is u. Saka kana u are equal to 3x, what is the derivative? Du dx is equal to just 3. That is going to be the derivative. Tengeta pedza. I'm going to explain something when it comes to the notation in differential calculus after I have done this. Then to yapana patoti let v be equal to y. And before tanyora the derivative cannot differential notation panapa, let us go back to let u be equal to 3x. The reason why tati du dx is equal to 3, it's because kuno kutina u and then mukati me function muna x. Saka kuti du dx hakuzi kungonyora. Tiri kuti du dx because we are differentiating u with respect to x. Indicator yekuti chinonyorwa pamusoro ndechipi chinenge chiri kuside racho chega u du. Then ko chinonyorwa pasasi ndechipi chinenge chiri mukati me function x dx. That's why tati du dx. And the importance and relevance of this inobuda panapa. Because we said kuno kutina v, zvoreva kuti kuno kuti yatishi dv. But mukati me function muna y, saka inge iri dv dy. Instead of saying dv dx, this time tiri kuti dv dy. Urubabata dv dy, very important. Then of course, what is dv dy? Derivative ya y is just going to be 1, like that. Saka kana tadaiso tanyora taassigna u na v tikawana ma derivatives acho. What we now want to do is this. Takuda kunyora pasi the product rule. Inoti du duv dx is equal to, always start with v du dx plus u dv dx. Ndosa inotaura. Panapa manje kana takuda the derivative of 3xy, tichati this is equal to, of course panapa tina dv dx because taitora directly from the formula, but instead of dv dx tichaisa chi dv dy. Andika, I hope this doesn't confuse you. Then what is v? V dy y is multiplying called du dx the 3 like that. That plus what is u the 3x, and 3x is multiplying what? Divide y and 1. But because arku multiplier what we have differentiated with respect to y, kana kuti arku multiplier chata differentiate chiri y, zvoroti tofunga ku multiplier nani pano ne differential coefficient dy dx. Very important. Saka part yatiri kunoisa divide y, which is a derivative yaitwa on y, we are going to multiply that with what? Dy dx. And this is very sacrosanct, very important. Okay, saka our final answer yedu panapa is going to be 3y plus 3x dy dx. And for now, let me just bracket this. I'm going to need it like this. Saka ntada isotengeta pedza pakanyanyo kukosha uye panotisiya ne conventional product rule yamakadzidza ndepano patino multiply na dy dx. Very sacrosanct there. Okay, saka please kana musina kunzwisisa dzosai kumashure zvishoma uye kana ndiudzei mumacomments mubate kuti nemhaka yei tati 3x times 1 times dy dx. It's simply because the one unoyu i derivative kantonyora ni Shona derivative ya y ndo reason yacho. That's very important there. Okay, so allow me to remove this part so that we can have working space. So this is now what we have. So zvakuchitika pano manje ndeizvi, isusu tiri kuda kwanzi find the gradient. Toziva kuti gradient I differentiation and so tiri kuda derivative here that function kana kuti that equation you may. What then are we going to do? Let me write the equation down first. X cubed plus y cubed plus 3xy minus 1 is equal to 0. That is the equation. Saka we are going to apply what we learned patakaita basic differentiation of simple algebraic expressions. Patakati we look at an expression, then we are going to differentiate each term independent of the other. Cannot we are going to differentiate each term separately. Saka x cubed, what is the derivative of x cubed? It's obviously 3x squared. And 300 tozo subtract 1, you know the ordeal. Toya panapa, what is the derivative of y cubed? It's plus angari 3y squared. But because tiri differentiate y, tofunga kuma multiply panapa nani na dy dx. Mabona panapa patanga chi differentiate x tinongozvita normally, but pataka ku differentiate y tino multiply na dy dx, derivative yatinge tawana. Saka tinototanga neku differentiate kuri normal, then tabva pa ku differentiate kuri normal tozodi tozongo multiply na dy dx. Okay, then panapa toti plus, then pana 3xy derivative yacho ndo yata calculate pa side tikaona kuti ndi 3y plus 3x dy dx. Imimi of course mofunga kuta show all your working. Remember, saka mawaniro amaita 3y plus 3x dy dx mofunga umaratidza on your answer paper. Mogona to consider, mogona kuti the derivative of 3xy mo apply product rule inoonekwa mozotora answer yenyu moita input there. And of course the derivative of a constant minus 1 is 0. This should be equal to 0. So since we have used this, let me remove it. Saka zvakuchitika panapa, we are now going to simplify easily. 3x squared plus 3y squared dy dx plus 3y plus 3x dy dx is equal to 0 ndangoremova mabrackets since tiri multiply nepositive zvinongodzoka sezvazviri. Chatiri kuda isusu ndi divide x, saka we are going to collect like terms. Kuside kuno kuti chanyora 3y squared and divide x plus 3x divide x is equal to 3x squared anoenda kuside ukova minus 3x squared andidika, then 3y oenda ukova futi minus 3y like that. Saka pano we are going to let us factor out divide x kuti tisare tina chi 3y squared plus 3x like this. Saka divide x tosara tina 3y squared plus 3x, this is equal to minus 3x squared minus 3y like that. Okay, allow me kushandisa space iri kuside uko. Saka panapa teta kuti chi tengeta kuti divide x is equal to, then bracket iri tikari cross multiply rikauya kunoku inenge ya divide x is equal to minus 3x squared minus 3y over 3y squared plus 3x like this. Then tikada ku simplify this, divide x is equal to, we can factor out minus 3 pamsoro panapa, bracket musara mina x squared plus y. Please be careful pakufactorize pano. Tikabuditsa minus 3, tikati minus 3 times x squared inotipa minus 3x squared minus 3 times y yotipa minus 3y. So please be careful there. Then this is over, tika factor out 3 yapo andidika tichawana mukati umenge mana x plus y squared like this. Saka tukachekana eventually divide x is equal to minus x squared plus y over x plus y squared like that. No final answer yatiri kuwana, but it's not final. Advice andona kukupai anogona working yataitai tisina denotanga tisina kumbodzima pataita product through ingetori almost the whole page of an A4 paper kana kuti half a page, 3/4 a page. Saka ma working eku A level pure maths anokura sometimes, zvekuti you might forget kuti question inombodei. So pamunosvika pano pamunofila kuti you have presented your final answer, dzokerai ku question and just read it through to make sure kuti you have answered the actual question. Because question yedu, a curve is defined by the equation x cubed plus y cubed plus 3xy minus 1 is equals to 0. Question iri kuti find the gradient of the curve at the point 2 minus 1. Saka we want to find the gradient of the curve. Saka kuti divide x is equals to that fraction is not the gradient. Kuti tiwane gradient of the curve teta ngodai so. Question yatiri kuda gradient of the curve ndizvoka. Sa tinenge takudai so, the gradient of the curve, saka togona nyora small sentence, the gradient of the curve at the point, cannot at 2, is it 2 minus 1? I have to confirm. Yes, it's 2 minus 1. Saka 2 minus 1. Saka moziva kuti basically the gradient of a curve is not constant, it changes according to which point you are at. Saka tapiwa a point todatsvaga the gradient of the curve at that particular point. How are we going to do that? Isusu toziva kuti gradient is given by dy dx, which in our case is equal to minus x squared plus y over x plus y squared. Saka we are just basically going to pana x tichaisa 2, pana y toisa -1 because ndo point yatapiwa. So this is minus x ndi 2, so it's 2 squared plus y, which is plus -1 over then apo x ndi 2 plus y -1 squared, like this. So this is equal to minus 2 squared ndi 4 plus na minus ukasangana zvaita -1, like this, over 2 plus -1 squared ndi 1, so 2 plus 1 ndi 3. So this eventually is minus 3 over 3, which is equal to -1. Therefore, gradient is equal to -1. Ndo inenge iri final answer. Kana madai mugona kutora 6 marks chaidzo. That is how implicit differentiation is done. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, let us go to the next question. Now we have our question number 2, example 2. Differentiate with respect to x. And those are out WRTX. ZIMSEC, Cambridge, or any examination paper, of course, they won't use a shorthand. They will tell you directly with respect to x. And we are given a function. Let us write it down. Y squared is equal to e to the 2xy plus x e to the x. So Azanzi, use differentiation to find dy dx in terms of x and y. Saka we already notice, because we have an equation number 1, number 2, tine musanganiswa wa x na y pa term 1. So that we are going to use implicit differentiation. But the first condition of implicit differentiation, we need to equate everything to 0. Saka tichaendesa e to the 2xy kuside uku yova y squared minus e to the 2xy, then x e to the x yoenda kuside uku yova futi minus x e to the x. This is equal to 0. We have met our first condition. Then now what we are going to do is taona kuti panapa we have a product e to the power 2xy, pano futi we have a product x e to the x. Saka toda kuseparata differently. Saka panapa musatora iri minus e to the 2xy, you will confuse yourself. Chingotorai consider e to the 2xy. We want to apply the product rule pairi. Tapeza odaro tichatora x e to the x to apply a product rule pairi, then tozongono inputa ma derivatives acho. Saka pano let u be equal to e to the 2x. Andika kungokurangaridza yo, if y is equal to e to the ax, dy dx inenge iri equal to totora derivative ya power, in this case the a times original function e to the ax, which is a e to the ax. Saya ndo ma differentiator atinoita ma exponential functions. Kuti tichatanga ta differentiator power, then tozongoti derivative yatawana times the original function e to the ax. That's important to remember. Okay, saka still at that, zorot panapa du truti du dx, because tina u na x, du dx is equal to, what is the derivative of the power? The 2, because derivative here 2x and 2, so it's 2 times original function e to the power 2x, korot du dx angari 2e to the power 2x, like that. Mazwonaka. Okay. Saka tabuditsa izvozvo takuda kutsvaga futishi takuti let v be equal to e to the 2x, saka v anenge ari equal to y, and derivative yedu pano dv dy is just equal to 1. Derivative of y ndi 1. And saka we know kuti duv is equal to, start with v du dx plus u dv dx, which is equal to v wedu ndiani, v ndi y, ko du dx ndiani, du dx ndi 2e to x, like that, plus ko u ndiani, u ndi e to the 2x, dv dx ndiani ndi 1, but since 1 unoyu ari dv dy, sorry ndati dv dx, dv dy tiri ku differentiate y ticha multiply nechi differential coefficient dy dx, kureva kuti eventually answer yedu panapa inenge iri chiti 2y times this ndi 2y e to the 2x plus e to the 2x dy dx, like this. And let me box this because I want to use it later. Okay, allow me to remove this part, all right, and also this part, and use a different color. Okay, saka tawana derivative ya e to the 2xy yatanyora panapa, takuda kuita consider x e to the x. Okay, saka tichatanga let u be equal to x, then du dx inge equal to chi to 1, tikati let v be equal to e to the x, saka dv dx apana pa e dv dx because tina v tina x. Muona notation kukosha kwa yakaita differential notation. Saka dv dx is equal to derivative ya x anova power ndi 1. Saka it ngori 1 times original, which is e to the x, kurao to the derivative of e to the x ngori equal to e to the x, like this. Which then means panapa tengeta kuti, therefore we know that duv dx is equal to totangana v e to the x and that is v iri multiply du dx 1 plus tozoenda pana u ndian u ndi x iri multiply dv dx, which is e to the power x, like this. Kurot answer yedu panapa inge chiti e to the x plus x e to the x, and allow me to box it. Shadows shandisa, like this. Okay, saka let me remove this part. Patanga tichita that. Saka kana muchida kunyatso kunzwisisa, of course you have liberty yeku mune chance yeku rewinda kunyatso kuona before taraba. That is why we put these videos on record. Okay, tazviita nenzira iyi manje. Zvatakuda kuchita panapa, takuchida kuchidifferentiate each term. Saka totangana y squared. Y squared 2 akadona ichava 2y. This is the derivative of y squared. Because ndi y chati times chi differential coefficient dy dx. Saka answer inenge ya 2y dy dx. Then toya panapa toti minus, murukona minus so, then muzibhokisi tovataisa derivative ya e to the 2xy yatawana kunoku 2y e to the 2x plus e to the 2x dy dx. Maona zvataita. Saka tatora derivative ya e to xy tikaisa mukati mema brackets minus tikangoisa kuside kunoku. Deno mamusana kuzviita nenzira iyi, you would have confused yourself terribly. That's why ndati munongotora e to the 2xy moidifferentiata mozotora derivative yacho. Musakanganwa mabrackets aya yakakosha, mesa mabrackets minus inge iri kuside kunoku. What it means is we have no need now of this part. Let us just remove it. Okay, then toti futichi minus derivative ya x e to the x ndiyo yatawana panapa, mabrackets e to the x plus x e to the x, and of course we can remove this, we have used it. Okay, saka natadai sotapedza, this is equal to 0. Saka let us simplify. 2y divide x minus times this and minus 2y e to the 2x minus times that and minus e to the 2x divide x, then minus times this and minus e to the x minus times that and minus x e to the x, and this is equal to 0. Please don't be intimidated kuona ma e to the x angowanda zvoita senga zvichanzwisisiki. No, ndo maitirwo emetsedza acho, mitemo inoteerwa kusvikira yatisvitsa kuansa. Saka panapa tikuda kusara tina divide x, saka tichati 2y divide x minus e to the 2x divide x. Ta selectors na divide x mukati. This is equal to minus 2y e to the 2x ikajamba equal sign inosvika iri positive, 2y e to the 2x, then minus e to the x ikajamba yosvika futi iri positive, minus x e to the x ikajamba yosvika futi iri positive, like this. Saka tadai so manje takungo factor out divide x side kunoku. Bracket redu menge mina 2y ari kubva pano minus, msakangano minus e to the 2x ari kubva hapo. If you multiply divide x times 2y and divide x times minus 2x, you get that. And this is equal to 2y e to the 2x, like that. Then panapa munotenderwa yenyu kuti plus mo factor out e to the x kuti sare iri 1 plus x pano, like this. You are allowed. So you are allowed to factorize in part kana kuti wholesamely. I wish, actually I know kuti maona kuti taita se panapa we factored out e to the x, then mukati me bracket muna 1 plus x, then cross multiplication zvoreva kuti therefore divide x iri equal to 2y e to the 2x plus e to the x 1 plus x over 2y minus e to the 2x. Ino iyi yatina nzira yatinogona kuisimplify nayo, saka ndo inenge itori final answer yedu. Saka sekutaura kwatamboita kuti kana taweka todzokera question kuti tione kuti taanza question here. Differentiate with respect to x, blah blah blah, to find dy dx in terms of x and y, and tawana dy dx in terms of x and y in this final answer. Ndo maitirwa zvinoitwa, mitemo inoteverwa kusvikira yatisvitsa kuansa. You don't have to be intimidated, just have to make sure kuti you follow the programming, the algorithm, the steps, the method, and make sure that you don't make negligent errors as you do that, so that you arrive at your answer. Sometimes in pure maths you get to weird answers like what we've just written there, but it's the correct answer. And they mark the method. Vanokoshesa method kudarika answer. Of course answer yenyu ikabudari correct kana pasina evidence yekuti method haina kunyepwa, they award all the marks on the answer. But kana question ine 8 marks, answer ingori ne 1 mark, 7 marks dziri muworking. Saka njiti show all your working to the best of your ability, you get as much marks. Teacher vakanditisa O level additional mathematics, Mr. Mtakaya, vakati, when you are writing, I was actually in his office when he was advising my A-level. They were complaining about a certain paper in mathematics ravanga vanyora vachita vana kupedza, and Mr. Mtakaya said, kana mchinyora pure maths, the aim akuzi kupedza, the aim kuanza as much as possible, kutora as many marks as possible. Saka marks hama dzangu akavigwa method. Hatizi ku O level kana ku grade 7 kwekuti answer ndo yatiri kuda. No, tiri kuda method. Tinoda kuona your thinking, how it drives you to the solution. Saka answer yakakosha ena kukosherana ne method. Kana method yenyu mukangoita zvekubharabhara chero mukasvika ku correct answer, but method isina kunaka, that will cost you. Saka please learn these methods. And the last thing is I invite you to join us if you want help with pure mathematics or at both O and A level, additional mathematics, further mathematics, maths. Kana mchida rubatsiro ne maths, please WhatsApp us on this number 0715213310, and we see how we can help each other to the best of our abilities. Thank you and have a nice day. The last thing being, Panapa, if you are not in Zimbabwe, then this number will become +263 71 521 3310.